Voyager 2 crossed the final threshold. And then something answered back. NASA has confirmed what was once only theory. Voyager 2 has officially passed beyond the Sun's invisible shield, the heliosphere, and stepped into true interstellar space. After more than 12 billion miles and over 40 years of travel, humanity's farthest explorer has reached a new frontier. And then something unexpected happened. In the cold, silent darkness between the stars, Voyager 2 sent out a signal. But this wasn't a scheduled transmission. It wasn't background noise. It stood out, organized, strange, and possibly intentional. Launched in 1977, Voyager 2 has been quietly sailing through the outer edge of our solar system. But recently, NASA's Deep Space Network picked up something unusual, a signal unlike any received before. It was buried in static, wrapped in pulses, and laced with shifting frequencies, as though it were carrying a coded message. It wasn't a malfunction. NASA engineers ruled out glitches, hardware errors, and interference from Earth. The spacecraft's systems, though old, were operating normally. Yet the transmission kept coming, subtle but steady, never quite the same, like it was evolving. As experts dug deeper, the mystery only grew. Inside the signal were clear mathematical patterns, geometric sequences, ratios, even prime numbers. These aren't the marks of randomness, they're signs of intelligence, and the fact that this signal stayed consistent across space and time raised a chilling possibility. Voyager 2 may not have sent it on its own. Did it enter a region of space where echoes remain? Or did it intercept a message not meant for us? Or maybe meant precisely for someone watching? What began as a strange anomaly has turned into a worldwide puzzle. Scientists are chasing answers, theories are multiplying, and a single shattering question now looms. Did Voyager 2 just make contact with something other? Before we dig further, don't forget to like and subscribe, because what comes next could change everything we thought we knew about the universe. What if the silence of space wasn't silent after all? We've always believed deep space is quiet because it's empty, but Voyager 2 just challenged that belief. Its mysterious signal hints at something far more unsettling, that what we call silence might actually be filled with something we've never learned to hear. Immediately, teams began scouring old data, not just from Voyager 2, but from Voyager 1 and other deep space probes. Signals once brushed off as background static are now being reanalyzed. Had we missed the signs all along? Did Voyager 2 cross into a zone where reality bends and communication works in ways we've never imagined? Because this wasn't like a random radio burst or the infamous wow signal. This felt personal. This was interaction with a machine we created, which means something noticed Voyager 2, recognized it, and responded. This moment could reshape human history. Voyager 2, launched with 1970s tech and less computing power than a modern calculator, just became something more, a messenger, a bridge. And now theories are erupting. Some suggest the signal is from ancient digital intelligences, remnants of civilizations that transcended biology long ago. Others say Voyager 2 entered a cosmic memory zone, where old broadcasts still echo, waiting to be heard. And then there are the radical ideas that this wasn't from aliens at all, but from a different dimension entirely. But the real mystery is why Voyager 2? Voyager 1 entered interstellar space first and received nothing like this. But Voyager 2 left through the southern boundary of the heliosphere. Could it have passed through something hidden? A portal? A signal trap? A beacon waiting for someone? Or something to listen? Despite only broadcasting at 23 watts, barely more than a fridge light bulb, Voyager 2 caught something no telescope ever has. A whisper in the dark, shaped with intention, sent across the void. When NASA stripped away the interference and visualized the waveform, jaws dropped. Musicians, coders, and analysts all found the same thing: repeating beats, gaps like pauses, patterns that felt musical. Could this be a coincidence? Or did something somewhere understand us and reply? Was it plasma, dark matter, an unknown form of space physics? Supercomputers modeled countless scenarios, and none could replicate the signal's eerie precision and intelligence. Whatever Voyager 2 encountered, it wasn't just noise. It might be the first message we've ever received, not from Earth and not from this dimension. And it changes everything. One thing was certain, this wasn't random, it was intentional, it was structured, but then, nothing. No second transmission, no echoes from other probes. Just silence, and Voyager 2 drifting alone, carrying the only clue. Why just one message? Why nothing more? The silence that followed wasn't empty. It felt purposeful, as if whatever answered was now waiting. And Voyager 2 wasn't just any spacecraft. It carried the golden record, a time capsule of Earth, greetings in dozens of languages, music from across cultures, images of our world, a cosmic invitation etched in gold. What if that mysterious signal was a response? Not a full conversation, not proof, but a nudge. Just enough to crack the door open and leave humanity breathless. Because once a pattern emerges from the static, space stops being a void. It becomes a dialogue. And suddenly, we're not just wondering who's out there. We're listening, waiting to hear what comes next. What began as a faint, unexplained anomaly has now stirred something far greater than scientific curiosity. It's sparked a global shift in how we see the universe and ourselves. Policymakers are already adjusting course. Priorities are shifting. Deep space exploration is no longer a dream, it's a race. Ideas that once lived in science fiction, AI-driven probes, quantum communicators, autonomous decoding systems, are being fast-tracked into reality. Because Voyager 2's message didn't just whisper from the dark, it rewrote the rules. It didn't simply collect data, it became a listener, a question hurled across the cosmos, and possibly, just maybe, answered. And now, humanity is standing at the edge of something bigger than we've ever faced. Not a new frontier of planets to conquer or minerals to mine, but a frontier of connection. Around the world, people are gazing at the night sky with new eyes, not just in wonder, but in hope. Hope that we're not alone. Hope that someone or something finally heard us. Voyager 2's strange signal reminded us why we explore space in the first place. We don't send machines just to take measurements. We send them as messengers, to ask questions across time and light years, and once in a while, the universe might answer back. This wasn't a system glitch. It wasn't just cosmic noise. It was a spark, flickering at the very edge of the known. A whisper hidden in the static, daring us to hear more. It didn't hand us truth. It left us with questions, big ones. Questions about our place in the cosmos, about who's watching and what it means to be noticed. Some believe it came from ancient technologies, digital ghosts from long-lost civilizations. Others suggest Voyager slipped into a strange fold in space, a ripple shaped by quantum forces, or maybe a cosmic archive. Then there are the boldest ideas, that this wasn't just extraterrestrial, but extra-dimensional, that what Voyager encountered didn't follow our rules, didn't even live within our concept of time. Why Voyager 2 and not Voyager 1? Theories point to one key difference, its path. Voyager 2 exited the heliosphere through a different direction, the solar system's southern edge. Did it cross through something hidden? A boundary? A beacon? A portal? Even with just a 23-watt transmitter, as weak as a fridge light, Voyager 2 picked up something no telescope has ever caught. A pulse with meaning. When NASA stripped away the noise and visualized the waveform, what emerged shook researchers. Rhythmic pulses, symmetrical patterns, intentional gaps. Some even heard melody, like something was waiting for a reply. Was this a signal? A trap? A test? Or a welcome mat? The signal's structure hinted at intelligence, but not like ours. It didn't speak a language we recognize, but deep in its rhythm were signs, mathematical harmony, order, symmetry. It didn't think like us. It didn't speak like us. Maybe it didn't even exist like us. NASA is now delicately trying to re-engage. Every command to Voyager 2 takes 18 hours to arrive, like shouting across a canyon and hoping for an echo days later. Meanwhile, researchers are diving deeper than ever before, simulating interactions, mapping cosmic anomalies, even questioning the shape of reality itself. Some whisper that this was no accident, that Voyager didn't just receive a message, it crossed into a waiting room, a threshold, a liminal space, designed to listen, to test, to respond. Whatever it was, intelligent signal, quantum echo, or unknown natural force, one thing is clear, something noticed Voyager, something answered, and that changes everything. Some physicists proposed a chilling idea: intelligent voids, vast engineered regions of space, not empty but designed, crafted to bend, block, or boost specific signals. If such constructs exist, they point to a civilization capable of shaping the very fabric of space, a level of technology far beyond anything we can imagine. But then came an even more haunting theory. What if Voyager 2 was never the intended receiver? What if it simply intercepted a message meant for someone else? A signal sent long ago, drifting endlessly through the cosmos, waiting to be heard. That possibility, of a lone probe wandering into someone else's interstellar conversation, feels less like science and more like myth. And that's exactly why this story didn't stay confined to laboratories and mission control rooms. It spilled out into the world, into art studios, music halls, film sets, and poetry circles. Because what Voyager 2 found didn't just stir the scientific mind, it touched the human soul. The signal didn't just reach Voyager 2, it reached us all. In the days that followed the discovery, something deeper began to unfold. People across the globe weren't just asking what the signal meant, they were asking what we mean. Suddenly, this wasn't just a technical puzzle, it became a mirror. If someone, or something, has truly reached out, what do we say back? Do we respond as a unified Earth, or as divided voices with different agendas? Who gets to speak on behalf of an entire planet? And what version of humanity do we even show? Our triumphs, our conflicts, our dreams? These weren't just philosophical questions. They triggered quiet conversations behind closed doors. Governments and defense agencies took notice. The signal wasn't hostile, but it was advanced, and that was enough to raise alarms. Security analysts, cyber units, and intelligence circles launched silent investigations. Because one truth became impossible to ignore: whoever sent that signal is ahead of us. And that changes everything. Our place in the universe, our technological trajectory, even the illusion of control we hold over our skies. High-level meetings were held in private, not to hide the signal, but to contain panic, to figure out how humanity should respond and who should be trusted to do it. Would the United Nations be enough? Should we form a new interstellar diplomacy council? What would our first message say? And who writes it? Suddenly, questions once confined to science fiction became real, urgent, and unanswered. This moment wasn't just scientific. It was spiritual, emotional, and deeply human. Philosophers, ethicists, and faith leaders began stepping forward. If another intelligence has made contact, do we have a moral duty to reply? Is silence a sign of wisdom? Or will it be mistaken for fear or arrogance? Should our response come from scientists, or from poets, from governments, or from humanity itself? There is no guidebook for this, no precedent, no playbook, no protocol, just a whisper from the dark. And now, a world holding its breath, wondering what it means to be noticed. Because maybe the signal wasn't just intercepted by Voyager 2, maybe it was meant for whoever was ready to listen. And now, we all are. Here's what we do know. Voyager 2, a spacecraft launched long before smartphones or Wi-Fi, has suddenly become the center of a global awakening. Its strange signal didn't just catch attention, it ignited a movement. Governments rushed to invest in quantum communication, next-gen AI, and autonomous deep space probes. Telescopes across the globe pivoted toward Voyager's last known coordinates. Scientists scoured the sky for clues, shifts in gravity, strange flickers of light, anything that might explain what just happened. And something remarkable began happening back on Earth. Universities saw a wave of students flooding into astronomy, astrobiology, and SETI research. Space wasn't just science fiction anymore, it was real, relevant, and right now. Curriculums changed. Entire departments were redesigned to explore things like astroethics and first contact theory. And kids everywhere, started asking big questions. What if we're not alone? What does that mean for everything we thought we knew? Religious communities too felt the tremors. Some saw the signal as divine confirmation of a higher plan. Others sat in reflection, revisiting age-old questions with fresh urgency. Why now? Why us? Places of worship filled up, not in fear but in search of meaning. And at the center of it all, an old spacecraft, still drifting, still alive. Voyager 2, outdated, analog, and half a century old, had become something more than a probe. It became a bridge, not just to the stars, but to something within us. The signal sparked a global shift in consciousness. For once, the world wasn't fixated on fear, disaster, or division. It was united by awe. Newsfeeds lit up not with crisis, but with curiosity. Documentaries rolled non-stop, live panels buzzed, online forums overflowed with theories and dreams. The message Voyager 2 picked up had done something extraordinary. It gave humanity a rare and powerful gift, a moment of shared wonder. Across continents and cultures, the same question echoed: who or what sent that signal? Ideas flew in from every direction. Some believed it was a greeting, a gentle cosmic wave from an unseen intelligence. Others thought it might be a test, a kind of cosmic experiment to see how Earth responds to mystery. If so, then maybe we're being watched now, our behavior silently recorded in some unknown ledger of the stars. And then came the more mind-bending possibilities. What if the signal wasn't from them, but from us? After all, Voyager 2 carries the golden record, a message to the universe from Earth. Could its strange transmission somehow be an echo bent back through time? A reply sent by our future selves through the warping of space-time? Or perhaps it wasn't contact at all. Maybe Voyager 2 crossed an invisible threshold, a zone designed to respond, like a galactic tripwire. And what it triggered wasn't a conversation, but a system, a relic, a warning, a beacon from a long-forgotten civilization. Sounds far-fetched? Maybe. But in a universe scattered with collapsed stars, lost planets, and silent worlds, even the wildest theories feel within reach. Because regardless of what it was, one thing is certain: the signal was real. It was captured, logged, studied, verified. No second message has followed, at least not yet, but the first one cracked something open. And that door, it's no longer just open in the sky, it's wide open in the human mind. Voyager 2, a tiny spacecraft older than most of us, is no longer just a machine. It has become something greater. A messenger adrift in the cosmic dark. A silent witness to Earth's boldest questions, now tangled in a mystery far older and far deeper than anyone imagined. With every moment it continues its journey through the void. Voyager 2 isn't just transmitting scientific data, it's carrying us, our doubts, our curiosity, our dreams. It's not just metal and circuits, it's a reflection of everything we are, and everything we hope we're not alone in being. And the signal it received? It wasn't just a glitch or a blip in deep space static, it was a spark, one that lit a fire far beyond the world of science. Yes, it challenged our understanding of physics, but more than that, it unsettled our sense of self. It rattled our imagination. It forced us to look in the mirror and ask, what if reality is much stranger than we ever dared to believe? The more experts studied the signal, the more bizarre the theories became. What if it didn't obey any logic we know? What if it operated across dimensions, with time not as a straight line, but a tool? The patterns weren't words or sounds. They weren't built for ears or eyes. They moved like pulses in the space between thoughts. Signals designed not to say something, but to be something. So scientists turned to artificial intelligence, not for translation, but for intuition. They fed AI systems chaos theory, quantum mathematics, abstract geometries, searching not for words, but resonance, harmony, as if Voyager had stumbled upon a kind of interstellar tuning fork, and we were trying to match its vibration. Then came the idea that changed everything. What if the signal wasn't a message at all? What if it was a system? Not a sentence, but software. Not a greeting, but a handshake, a program waiting to run. That changed the mission. Now it wasn't about cracking the code. It was about responding. Not with answers, but with presence. It wasn't about understanding the unknown. It was about touching it. The moment marked a shift, not just in science, but in awareness. Because suddenly, space wasn't just a vast emptiness. It had a voice. And for the first time, that voice whispered back. The Voyager 2 signal might be doing more than we realize. In labs and observatories across the world, scientists began composing answers, not in spoken language, but in structure. They replied with frequencies, pulses, and waveforms designed to echo the signal's form. A language of vibration, not vocabulary. A rhythm, not a reply. The hope? To spark a reaction. To prove something, or someone, was truly listening. But what if there's no reply? What if the signal was never meant to be answered, just witnessed, like a cosmic lighthouse sweeping across the void, uncaring who sees its beam? Or maybe worse, what if it is watching, not listening to our replies, but studying our reaction, silently observing what we do with this whisper from the stars? Then came the most chilling possibility. What if the signal didn't stop with Voyager 2? Because remember, Voyager is connected to Earth's global deep space network, a vast digital web. What if the signal, once received, echoed through our systems, not as a virus, but as a seed, a quiet ripple hidden in frequencies, subtle, undetected, but capable of changing things, not destroying, just evolving. Whatever it was, the signal has already done something powerful. It changed how we think, how we listen, and how we see ourselves in the face of the unknown. Voyager 2 was built to explore the stars, but maybe, just maybe, it was always meant to help us discover something else, that the universe is not silent. We just needed to learn how to hear it. This single possibility changed everything. It triggered a global wave of re-examination, a second look at decades' worth of electromagnetic records once tossed aside as meaningless static. Radio telescope archives, once thought to hold only cosmic noise, were fed into new, smarter algorithms. And then, something stirred. Faint rhythms, repeated signatures, patterns that bore eerie similarities to the Voyager 2 signal stretching back years. Had we been receiving these signals all along and just never recognized them? Was Voyager 2 simply in the right place, at the right time, to finally catch a full transmission? Some experts believed the key was in its trajectory. Voyager's flight path wasn't planned with foresight, it was the product of 1970s physics and gravity assists. And yet somehow, through random motion or perhaps intentional design, it may have drifted into an interstellar current, a stream of information flowing through space. Out of this came a radical new idea. Galactic ley lines. Not made of stone or magnetism, but of pure information. Invisible pathways of structured energy woven into the fabric of space itself. And only something silent, passive, and distant, like Voyager, could detect them. Anything louder might disrupt the flow. From there, a deeper theory took shape. What if the universe isn't just made of matter and energy? What if, at its core, the universe is made of information? Not just particles and physics, but code. And the signal Voyager 2 received, not a message, but syntax, the rules behind reality itself. A cosmic operating system, not alien, not human, just there, woven into the architecture of existence. As physicists wrestled with this paradigm shift, another wave of curiosity emerged, not from observatories, but from history. A group of researchers turned to ancient records, not looking for aliens, but for echoes. In symbols, mythologies, and temple alignments, they searched for structures and patterns that resembled the Voyager signal. Because what if this wasn't the first time? What if the signal has echoed through Earth's skies before and was once interpreted as prophecy, divine voice, or cosmic omen? That possibility sparked an even more mind-bending theory. What if the signal is cyclical, returning at intervals throughout history? A kind of cosmic check-in, a long-range surveillance system waiting for life to evolve, to listen, to respond. It fit cleanly within an old but provocative idea. The zoo hypothesis, the theory that Earth is being quietly observed by advanced civilizations who intervene only at certain developmental milestones. And Voyager 2, maybe it tripped an invisible sensor, maybe it rang the doorbell. And now, the watchers are watching. As speculations spread like wildfire, scientists stayed grounded. The signal, no matter how strange or structured, didn't prove contact. But it proved something else, something even more powerful. It proved we've reached a mystery that can't be ignored. And that mystery didn't stay locked in physics labs. It spilled into philosophy. It sparked debates in ethics, chemistry, and even synthetic biology. Bioethicists began drafting hypothetical guidelines just in case the signal held more than data. What if it carried instructions? What if its patterns contained the building blocks of life itself, blueprints for biocreation? Could a frequency trigger life-forming reactions? Could a message generate life? Conferences were held, whiteboards filled with equations. And through it all, Voyager 2, that old relic from the cassette tape era, kept drifting onward. Alone, quiet, unshaken. Voyager 2 may no longer be just a probe. It has become a question, a thread hanging in the dark, connecting our tiny world to something far larger and far stranger than we ever expected. A signal that's still being heard, and a future we're only just beginning to comprehend. If this story sparked your imagination, tap the like button and subscribe for more cosmic updates. And now we want to hear from you. Do you think this was the beginning of contact, or something even weirder? Drop your theories in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and remember, keep your eyes on the stars, because one day they might just look back.